I will be very honest, I was late at planning because I was in that little happy place of denial that my child was growing up. So at 17 and a half, we went and talked to an attorney about guardianship because at that time I really felt like that was the only option that we had. I walked out of the attorney's office realizing that that might not be the best option for her because she walks and talks, she has opinions. I needed to figure out if I could get her to understand what a power of attorney meant. Because a power of attorney, you need to be competent enough to understand what you're signing. So a power of attorney is where a person appoints another person to be able to speak for them if they're not able to make the decisions.
For example, one in which it would be very useful would be for medical decisions, to allow a parent or a guardian to access medical records, to speak to insurance companies, to talk to physicians, and to make medical decisions.
There's different power of attorneys. So there's power of attorneys for medical, there's power of attorneys for financial, and there's also, we've recently figured out that there's an educational power of attorney. So if you have a child that needs assistance in those particular areas, those are documents that can be very beneficial. If power of attorney isn't enough, if as a parent you feel like your child needs more, then there's also supported decision making is another option.
It's new here in Texas, and it really allows the person operating with a disability to work with someone else, a trusted guardian or friend or parent, to help them make those decisions that are most important in their life. It is much looser and does not require an official giving up of rights.
It's a wonderful new tool that parents can use, particularly if you're just not sure. It's also more cost effective. It's expensive to get guardianship.
So for us, our son is 33 years old, and when he was 18, we were so clear that he needed a guardian. And so we went straight into the process the month he turned 18. The judge was fully on board with it. He believed that Will needed a guardian. There's another lawyer appointed to represent the person losing their rights. And so Will had a lawyer, we had a lawyer, and we're all presenting our perspectives to this judge. And so he believed that, Will needed a guardian.
Limited guardianship is a little different from full guardianship because you can go to the judge and explain. Actually, first you fill out a form and you say, I think that I would like to have these types of guardianships over my son. And in our instance, we elected to have a limited guardianship that allowed the guardian to make decisions related to his living situation, his educational situation, and his medical. And all other areas were left to him. He was thrilled with it because for him, guardianship meant he would always be surrounded by his family and always have someone in his family who would be his buddy, who would be on the lookout for him, who would be his partner in life. He loved that concept. He's 29 years old. He still loves that concept.
I heard a financial planner say, when you're planning for your retirement as a couple, and you have a child with special needs, you're really planning for the retirement of 3 people, not 2.
There's a limit of $2,000 for anyone who is receiving any federal benefits, and we knew from probably middle teenage years that that was something we needed to prepare for. I had a family member who wanted to set up a special needs trust in her will for my son. So for the last almost 10 years or more of Peter's life, I've been operating that special needs trust as the trustee. This is something that is extremely important, and it's something that you need to see a lawyer who's well qualified in the area of special needs trust.
The reality is, as parents, we're not always going to be here. If you start a little bit at a time, the hope is at the end of the day, you won't be as overwhelmed. It's never too early to start, regardless of what age your child is. Start planning, look to the future.
If you're living in a small town and don't have access to organizations that might be able to help you, again, the internet is a wonderful organization or a wonderful resource for locating the organizations such as the ARC of Texas, Texas Parent to Parent, and others.